Good morning, Eve and Carl. Thank you
Good morning, Gracie.
Thank you for coming in today and arriving on time. I really appreciate the effort that you've made.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, not in the best circumstances, but before we begin, do you give consent to have the other person present?
Yes.
That you both.
As in Eve?
Both of you. Yeah.
Yes.
As in Eve and Carl.
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do is do it like a share and pair and share brief. If you two could just elaborate a little bit first off amongst yourselves on what happened,
Yes.
and then I'll continue with the questions later. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries.
You know, because it was a bit disturbing for you. So you two talk amongst yourselves,
Cool.
and then let me know when you're ready.
Yep, thank you.
How are you feeling?
Me? I'm feeling hurt by the way Wayne spoke to me, and I feel scared.
Yeah, right. Is that how you felt when it was going down?
Yes. So because of the way Wayne reacted, it made me feel scared.
Yeah.
And I was very hurt by the way that he spoke to me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. How do you think I felt? He bloody grabbed me by the collar too. Punched me in the stomach.
And how are you feeling with that situation going down?
I'm okay now. I just probably don't want to go
How
back
are you
there.
feeling in the
Oh, when it was going
when it
down,
was going
I was
down?
like terrified. Seeing the size of the bloke.
Yes, it's
Big-
pretty
he's a
big,
big
bigger
fella.
than me, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Taller than me too. I'm 6 foot. He's like
Yeah.
6'4". You know.
That's why I
I
wanted
don't know.
this to
I think it's all water under the bridge now, and
So what about now? How are
time
you
to move
feeling now?
forward. I
Since
feel okay now. I just probably definitely wouldn't go back to see him again. That's for sure. To be honest.
I would definitely want to see him because
You
even
would?
after he recovers, he could then have a relapse.
Yeah.
And he could come and, swear at me or, tap me down. So I'm a bit
Yeah.
like, I just want to stay away from him. I don't want to have to interfere with him, let him live
Yeah.
his life and I'll
Yep.
go on with mine. So then
Correct. Good thinking, Eve.
there's no, going back there. We just
Yeah.
move on, he move on and that's it.
Yep.
See you later,
Okay.
Wayne.
Good thinking. Yeah. Yeah, I think we've had a little brief.
Yeah, just to feel comfortable about talking about in this same space for
Yeah.
today. And so now I've gone over the incident reports too, and I want to start with you, Carl, from the initial meeting with the client on the 6th of February
Yep.
at the I Am Free Centre.
Yep.
So I will ask you questions over the incidents at the different days that you attended, and this can allow you to reflect on that day.
No worries.
So can we start with Carl?
Just
Can you
about.
tell me in your own words how you felt about what happened on the 6th. We're going to start from
Well,
the initial day.
what happened or how I felt about what happened?
Yeah.
How I felt.
No, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the 6th, what happened?
So on the 6th, we've gone to visit the client for the initial assessment. I've gone by myself.
Yeah, right.
And initially, he was cooperative. He was sharing information with me and stuff, and answering questions, just talking to him. And then all of a sudden, he just became agitated. And when I asked him if he was okay, he just became more agitated. He got angrier. Started to get angry. He actually pulled me by my collar, told me to go away.
So,
And I figured it was just because it was his first time in rehab. I wasn't sure. Like it was definitely aggressive.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a process because I have to complete the staff debriefing, and there's some questions that we ask on here that is relevant to the incident. And so he was okay first off, and then he became.
He was cooperative. We'll call it that.
Why do you think that he became agitated?
Honestly,
Can you
I'm
remember?
not sure. Not the first time. Not on the first visit. I couldn't tell you why he became agitated. He kind of just became agitated.
Right.
I'm not sure if I asked him the wrong question.
Yeah.
Can't really remember exactly what was asked, you know, but I could have asked him the wrong question. Could have asked him something about his family, I'm not sure.
So, we're just going to reflect now, and Eve, I understand you came in on the 8th, so you both went in, you went away that afternoon, feeling a bit unsure of that.
Yeah, what to do with the bloke. Not what to do with the bloke, but how we're going to go forward, yeah.
Yeah, because that was for you to get information from him,
Yeah,
to
that
be
was
able to
just
assess.
like a meeting too.
Yeah.
Well, Carl over here thought that I
Initial
could,
assessment.
help talk it easily
Oh.
with Wayne.
So that
That's
was
what Carl
the
thought.
second,
This is on the 8th.
on the 8th.
Yeah,
Yes. So that's what he thought.
Yeah.
And Wayne became also cooperative with me as he
Yeah, he wasn't he, at
with
first?
me on our initial meeting.
So Wayne
Yeah.
was
Cooperating with me.
cooperating
Yep.
with you.
As he
Oh.
was with me on our initial meeting.
I hope you
She
don't
means
mind.
as he
I'm
was.
just gonna. I may seem a bit distant from you, but I'm keen in the
that's
information
okay.
No, you're
so
fine.
that we can
understand.
Yep. No, that's
um,
Not our
okay.
first degree.
have an understanding of how you're going
Yeah,
you know,
yep.
and working through this
Yes.
situation.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so Wayne was cooperating with you, Eve.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
With both of you
Yeah.
first.
Yep.
Do you think it was a time thing, like he like after 5 minutes he became agitated? Was it towards the end
Oh,
of
we kind of expected for us to get more information out of him with both of us there
Okay.
as well. And he was pretty cooperative, and then we asked about his family,
Right.
didn't we?
Yes, we asked
You don't
him.
do that with Wayne, do you?
No, so we asked him the wrong question, which was about his family, and that became a sensitive topic
Yeah, his
for
mood
him.
just changed, his
Mm.
face turned,
He went
face turned red.
Red in the face,
Yeah.
yeah.
Red
He
in the
just-
face.
Yes,
Yep.
he did.
What was the exact? Can you remember what was the exact question you asked him? It may.
Oh, I can't
Be a
remember the
rec-
exact question, to be honest.
Mm.
I think about it. I think I might have just asked, "How's your family?"
As your
Or
family.
is your family okay? Yeah, maybe just touch base, something, just general chit chat.
Yeah, because you're trying to assess
Him
his
as a person to
Him,
see
yeah,
how he
exactly.
his
His
family,
surroundings, what support he's
other
got,
support.
Yeah.
all that sort of
what
stuff.
support he has, he's got any family, got any friends,
Yeah. So
so that we can get to know him
it
better
kind
as a
of
person.
went pretty lax after that. So
Mm. And how did you respond when he became aggressive, Carl? Like I
Oh, well,
watched
he
it, like,
turned-
the
well,
first
he
time
turned
and then
red.
the second.
once he turned red, he's clenched his fist, and
Mm.
he's clenched his fist, and he's actually he's like he was gonna punch you.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's
And
what-
he
yeah.
yelled, and he's asked for us to never return.
Right.
Yeah, so we were kind of like, I don't know, assistants came in and sort of calmed it down a bit and stuff. We left and gave him his piece, and
Oh, so you had someone assist you?
not so much assist us, but there was staff around and stuff, so it wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't completely just us two just in a room with him screaming.
Was
Like, it was.
That was on the 8th
Yes.
or 13th?
That was on the 13th, yeah.
On the
So
13th.
the initial one on the 8th, I was just there by myself. That was on the 13th, yeah.
Right. So, and how did you respond to that? Like, that's really what I know. He responded
Are
to
we-
the questions.
Sorry to interrupt, but we talking about the 13th here because
Oh no, that was, so it was, I was there, sorry, I've got the dates confused. I was there by myself on the 6th, and then that was on the 8th, when me and you went together on the 8th, didn't we?
yes,
Yeah.
but
And then the third time we
13th.
went on the 13th. Yeah.
no, well on the 13th,
Today's the
yes,
16th.
we
Yeah.
visited Wayne on the 13th, and
So is that when he actually became aggressive, or
That
did
was
his
when
face
that was when his face just turned red and he clenched
On the
his fist and
13th.
stuff. That was on the
Okay.
8th.
was on the 8th?
Yes, that was when we both first initially went in
When you-
together on the 8th.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you took her even with you for
Yeah,
support.
the first
thinking
time on
that
the
it was
6th
gonna be
was by
okay.
myself.
yes.
So
So
the
the 6th,
second time
the
was on the
6th was
8th.
Wayne by himself. The 8th,
Right.
we both
Yeah.
went in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but Carl was doing all the talking, all the explaining, talking to Wayne. I was just there for support because it was the second time, and for me to get to know him as well personally. And then on the 13th, we're now talking about the 13th. So,
and now we're talking about if you'd
now
like to
move
talk
on
about
from
the
But on the 8th, he was cooperative with you first.
At first,
At
correct.
first. And then he got agitated.
And then we asked
And
him
that's
about
when
the
we knew.
family and
That's it. We knew he not to even bother with him.
no, we didn't
Oh.
think that. We were a bit like, we were just a bit shocked.
We were just didn't know what to do for ourselves.
Yeah,
at
because
that
we did
time.
go back
Right.
after that.
Yeah, in
So
that
on the
instance
13th.
also you don't know how you can help him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's in a vulnerable position there where he's in the drug and alcohol rehab centre, and like Carl was saying, it's the first time he's been there and he may be unsure of what's
What
his
he can and
rights
can't
or
do, yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And so
The
it's
biggest
important
first
that
time.
when you do go into this area and you are conversing with the clients that you may have to practice your code of conduct and
Correct.
ethical,
Keep it professional.
Yeah.
and have a listening ear
Yeah. Yeah.
more than question.
Yeah.
Because that's like, or intrusion on a person, it's the same as you, like that. It's not very nice what happened, and that has affected your workload. And
Yeah.
I hear you don't really want to return to work.
No, not so much anymore after that third time, after the 13th, or the 12th, the 13th,
Yes. So, just getting back, how did you respond? Did you walk out straight away, or
We
did you
walked out.
try and calm him?
No, the
What's
staff
that?
and everything sort of interrupted and was like, hey,
Oh, okay,
and
start
we
to
left,
leave.
we weren't going to try and,
Yeah, because you were injured too. He physically hit you.
That was on the 13th. That was a different incident again.
So when was the red face and the fist clenched?
That was on the 8th.
Was it on the 8th? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So.
And then we also went in there on the 13th, if you read the debrief.
We went there on the
yeah,
13th.
on the incident report.
Yeah, correct.
It's been on the 13th.
Yeah, and then on the 13th was when we visited him again.
Yeah.
After. We haven't told you this part yet. This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah. This is a bit more deeply.
Okay, so starting to me. So was there any influencing factors? I'm just going on a bit of this debrief template that I have here where these questions are kind of like important to bring you to an area where that you're comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without there being any.
We feel fine.
So what were you actually thinking when responding to what was happening on the 8th?
So we were, it was more like another thing because this time he clenched his fist and he was proper violent, wasn't he? So
Yes.
we kind of just left and we thought, maybe it's because we asked him about his family and maybe we'll try to go back and talk to him again and apologise.
Well, me personally, I didn't think much of it because
Yeah,
was
me
just
neither
like-
until that, on that
it
second
was
time.
just
Yeah.
like a first time.
Someone in rehab, they're meeting new
Yeah.
people.
Maybe he.
We didn't think
just,
much of it at all.
Yes.
So you mean when you didn't think much of it, him
We
being-
weren't like, scared,
went,
like,
oh.
we were just
Because
like,
he's-
he's in rehab, we knew the situation.
Yeah.
It was on the
Okay.
He
third
let
time
it
that
off
shocked
the first
us.
time because it was first, he was
First time
first
meeting
in
him,
there,
we asked him about his something sensitive.
we could
Did
have,
you talk him, try to calm him down, or did you just
No,
end
not
the,
after that. We
end
kind of just
the,
ended the session there because
end the
he
session.
raised
No.
his fist and we
As soon as
thought,
he raised his
we're
fist,
not
we
police
were just-
officers or we're not security guards,
Yeah.
we're not going to try and calm him down, When
Okay,
people
and that's
start
not
getting
your
violent,
role.
no,
You
he's
know,
in the
that's-
rehab
yeah,
center, so we
safety's
kind
always-
of just left it up to the
Yeah,
staff.
we just,
And we left, but we did
We
come
did.
back a third time after that.
yeah.
So
Of course he came back because he didn't do any harm to us the first time, he just cleansed
Yeah,
his fist.
that's right.
Yeah, it was a
You
bit
know, so
upset
he was
and
just a
angry.
bit angry because,
Correct.
you know, he had a lot going on in his life, and all he wanted to do
Yes.
was just, you know, be there, you know. But then when we were coming in and asking all these questions, he was like, well, that's a bit too much from the spot. He was like, can I just, you know, be on my own because it's here for the first time and,
Yeah, and he was.
get used to the area, get used to what I'm allowed to do.
He had not so good news
Yes,
as well,
yes.
wasn't it? He-
Yeah, no, that
he
was
had-
the third time.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about now. The third.
Oh, okay, so you want to hear about the third time, do you?
Oh, so we're still on the 8th, are we? The clenching of the
Yes,
fist and
that's
the
the
red
eighth.
face.
Yep.
Yes, so now we're moving
And
forward
then
on
you,
to the 13th.
that's right, and you just decided,
And then we just
okay,
decided, oh
to
well,
end
you
the
know, he's in
session.
rehab. The
Yeah,
guards
we
have got
left
him
it until
now.
the 13th.
Not
We
the
gave
guards,
him
you know,
a couple
but-
of days.
And then
3
we went back
days
on the
to-
13th.
This is when we let him, we left him for 5 days,
Yep.
and we've come back on the 13th to check up
Okay.
on him to see how he's going.
Yeah,
And it was
You know-
Friday too. Friday the 13th.
was it?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to use that as any
Superstition.
superstition in any way, but
Well, if you think
taking
that
some-
one may have made him go like that in certain way, may have made him become, you know, the way he became because it was Friday the 13th, and, you know, that's what happens, you know, people just, you know, carry on
Yeah.
about it and go silly over it, don't they?
Right, and I guess he's like being all new to the environment and then having total strangers, you know, invade his private life
Yes.
would be,
Yeah,
you
correct.
know,
Yeah, horrifying.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, because he's going through a stressful time himself. So, but
Would you like
That's-
to us to relay what happened on the 13th?
yes, but that's not in this instance, we're more concerned how you are feeling. You both are experiencing the impact it's having upon you, and for you not to return.
Yeah,
And-
that's more so because of what happened on the 13th.
So, can we talk to you about what happened on 13th so you get a bit of understanding why we don't return?
Okay.
Is that okay if we can walk on about it?
Yeah.
Sure. So on the 13th, what actually happened is, Carl and I here, we visited Wayne. And
Again.
it was my second time that I had been speaking to Wayne.
My third time.
Yes. Wayne walks unwell. He looked
Oh,
very
did he?
unwell, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it seemed
And
like
he-
he was in a bad mood that
And
morning as well,
he
didn't he?
didn't want to talk.
Yep, straight off the bat.
So
And
we,
thought, oh, here
we
we go.
waited until he was ready.
Yeah,
Because we didn't want to, you know,
Yes.
go straight in after,
Uh-huh.
because, you know, we didn't want.
last time we seen
Last
him, he
time we
raised
s-
his
yeah,
fist, and
he's-
then now
we
we
didn't
see
want
he's
him to
looking
get
pretty
aggressive
angry
and
already.
abusive.
Yeah.
So we left it for him until he was ready for us to talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we were in the room to meet him, he didn't greet us,
Yeah. He was quite
but
hostile.
Distance was in. Yeah.
but
And
instead,
Very hostile,
instead of
yes.
But instead of him greeting us, because he didn't greet us, he just shouted. He shouted at me and Carl over here.
Yeah,
He shouted
he was.
at us, and he started
Yeah.
swearing. And he started talking about his wife.
Yep. Because
And he
it
said,
was apparently
he seemed angry
the
with his
client's
wife.
wife had called, and the client's wife had called and said that she doesn't have time to visit him in the rehab anymore. So I guess he was upset because there goes one more of his support legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also he said that she might have been, which is none of our business, I guess, but sleeping around, you know, cheating, might have cheated on him.
Yeah.
Something along those lines anyway, and I think that's why he was
And
quite
then-
upset.
Because he would be in a situation where it's out of his control. You know,
Correct,
like
and he's
what
in the
can
rehab, you know, he's
what
trying
can
to
he
get
do?
good.
He's
Yeah.
trying to improve his
But then when he's
lifestyle.
got people,
Yeah.
when he's got worries like that with his wife cheating and that just makes him want to return to alcohol and drugs.
Yeah, he actually
Yeah.
did
He
say that's
actually
the
did.
reason
He just said
actually
that's
did
it.
say
I'm
that's
just
the
gonna
reason
I'm just gonna turn to alcohol
Yeah,
drugs because my
turn to
wife's
drugs
cheating
and
on me.
alcohol.
She doesn't come visit me. I've got no support.
Mm.
You know, I just give up. Instead of him moving on and trying to be supportive and strong for himself, he just
Well, this is,
it just fails for you because he doesn't want to have to, you know, he wants to.
He actually hit me in the stomach.
he hit you.
Yeah, he struck me in the stomach, and he actually threatened to hit you too, didn't
And
he?
he pushed him to the wall as well.
Does
It
it
was
really
a-
matter, or was
It was
Wait,
south
you must
wall.
have been close to him then, or did
Oh,
he
it was
step
just in
into
short
you? Or?
Yeah, he stepped in for the left jab.
So Carl over here tried to talk to him, and didn't listen to him trying to talk to him.
Mhm.
Carl was trying to talk to
He was
Wayne.
just going
That's when he punched Carl in
and
the
he's gone, I
stomach,
hit you too.
and then he pushed him to the wall.
Yeah,
that's
and
when he
I
pushed
couldn't
you.
push him. I couldn't push him back. He's a big boy, you know. So,
So-
and that's when, you know,
Were there laying
he told us not
charges
to
or
come
how-
again. He told us not to come again, and
He doesn't want us to go.
all the staff intervened then, and they tried to restrain him and stuff like that. It was a big scene.
So in the areas like that, there's a few strategies that I can, you know, suggest to you to.
And in that
to
instant, I called for help from the centre and tried to calm Wayne down.
Yeah.
But he shouted at me again and he wanted to hit me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
that's exactly what Wayne Carl was saying,
Wow,
sorry.
that is-
And I felt frightened,
Yeah.
but I did not
Strong.
cry in front of Wayne.
You didn't cry.
No, I didn't cry.
She stayed strong.
And
Yeah.
I didn't cry in front of the other workers as well that were around. So they assisted me and Carl over here by restraining Wayne. They restrained him. Then Carl was assisted to see a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
that was on in the centre itself?
That was in. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
In
It was on
there.
the
So yeah,
13th.
we had a bit of support from all the other staff. They
Right,
restrained Wayne for us because we
Mm.
obviously couldn't do it because I was, you know, nearly getting hit by him.
yeah.
And Wayne over here had to see the doctor.
Do you think you gathered enough information from
I think on
prior
that
to
client, I
entering the?
think on that
premises?
client's basis we have, yeah, because he's a different client, so we're sort of like, oh yeah, well now we know what he's like, so.
Did they give you information on a background, like sometimes you don't walk into assume?
No, we didn't get any background from
No,
him.
these
We
these
just-
meetings are arranged. These meetings, you know, we don't just rock up and.
So we
Yeah.
were,
So-
we just walked
Or do
in
we?
to see Wayne, and
Yeah.
we just then asked questions about him to get to know him.
Yeah.
So we weren't told about how Wayne, like,
Would
we didn't know any
His
background of Wayne, no,
personality.
because if we
Yeah,
knew,
we're just trying to.
if we knew the background of Wayne, we wouldn't have stepped in to try and help. We would have just got someone who was more professional or who was more understanding and who Wayne could respond to more if we had knew his background. Because we didn't know his background, we just went in straight out of with no
Yeah.
records and we just said, hey, how you going, Wayne?
So
How's
maybe,
your family? And that made him become the way he became.
so that could be how next time in dealing with that situation, that we do a bit of research, finding out why this person is in there,
Yeah.
rather than just getting a referral and just going
Going
straight
in
in
there,
and
yeah.
saying, okay, we're here to
Yeah,
help.
so that's
Yeah.
where we can
Maybe
then
take a-
request that
take a step
on
back
the visit.
before we
We
take
can
a step
request
forward.
we can request that ourselves.
Yeah,
We can request a bit of background knowledge for the client, so then we don't just go straight in and they're just like, whoa, who are you? Like, you know, why are you asking
Yeah.
about my family? Why are you
yeah.
asking me about this? Why are you asking me
Yeah,
about
who
that?
are
So, what
Yeah,
was
you
good
are.
about the
telling
experience?
you
Did you
my
find
information.
anything good about the
Everybody
experience?
The experience
Oh, it was
overall,
definitely
It was very hard to-
eye-opening.
Carl, what do you say? It was an eye opener?
It was definitely eye-opening because I sort of, you wouldn't expect it from this fella looking at him and then, bam, he just went to town.
So
So
the good experience is that
the good experience is that hopefully can get some proper help now, because now he's past the stage of us
have to deal with him.
having
Oh,
to help
so-
him, and then maybe he can go on to his next step, you know. So there's no point us keep going back there another 6 times, and he just keeps trying to swing at us. So
because
I think it's
he's
just-
pretty much made a clear statement. He does not
yeah,
want
he
any.
doesn't want anyone
He doesn't
to
want
do
us to
that.
be there for him, so we just left it up to the professionals to deal with him. So for me,
And what was
I
it?
just think that
We are the professionals.
for the overall of the situation about Carl, you know, I don't know who he is. But what I know from him is that he is very abusive and he was very upset, you know, which made him turn to drug and alcohol, and so we just
Yes.
you know, did our job as trying to assist him and find out how we could help him. And because we couldn't do that, you know, we have just walked out and we've now having to let the professionals deal with Wayne because we couldn't deal with him because he was
So
trying.
what did you learn anything good out of it, or was it more
Well, the
like a
good thing-
bad experience?
Overall, there was good and a bad. So it wasn't like it was overly bad because he was cooperative in some points, so that was a good thing. But then other times he was trying to swing at us because maybe he didn't understand who we were and why we were there, and he didn't know who we were.
Okay.
So we can't overly blame him for the way he reacted because
Correct.
he didn't know us offhand. If he knew who we were, he would have probably settled and he probably would have had a bit more response.
Yeah,
to who
more of
we
a
were.
trusting
Yeah.
relationship. So if he
But-
Plus the
trusted
bad
you,
timing, his wife and all everything
Plus,
else.
Yeah.
with everything going on with him, he just couldn't function. He was like, just get out. I just need some time for myself.
Yeah.
And we as workers didn't understand that because we are not in Wayne's shoes. If we were in his shoes and knew about him to begin with, we would have then knew how to more help him.
Yeah.
So what else could you have done about what happened? Do you think you could have done anything differently to
I
help
reckon
him?
I could have left him alone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we could have
Yes.
maybe gave it a few more extra days before each
Do you
visit.
think
And I
leaving
reckon-
him
Just to
alone
see
though?
how, no, because he's in a centre, so just to leave him in a centre and let him progress there a bit more before we came in.
Yes.
Maybe he was still going through
Maybe the
withdrawals,
other
we don't
people
know.
could have introduced us to him.
There's a lot more
Maybe
going
they-
on behind the scenes that we could have established.
That's why I say if we had left him alone, maybe he could have had time to himself to unwind and maybe understand a bit more about how he is feeling as a person for himself. And also, another thing we could have also did was maybe ask him if he wanted to go for a walk.
Yeah,
To maybe
yeah,
to
and
get
have
him-
a different
so that he can
environment.
get out of the room,
Yeah.
so he's not cooped up in his room.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so he can get out
See
and
if
have some
he'd
fresh
like to
air.
go.
And you know,
Yeah.
so he can then get his mind off the thinking of his family, his wife who's cheated, and all that other stuff as well.
Okay, that's very good, Eve. I like that.
And
They
maybe
are strategies that you can use
to help
through,
him cope with his
even just not
the
for
time that he is
Wayne,
at the moment. Yeah.
but in another scenario, when you're in another, say you're in that same predicament or that same situation, you can go, okay, I've learned from the last one that keep continuing asking him questions when he's already just told me, no, stop there, I don't
Yeah.
want to talk anymore about it. And then something's triggered that maybe you could say, would you like a drink of water or
Yeah.
something to help him.
To get his mind off the thinking that, yes. That is a good idea, yes.
Okay, so what could be done to minimise that the incident of that happening again? So you got punched, Carl,
Yeah.
and pushed. Do you think keeping distance? Like, I would suggest keeping distance. Like,
Yeah, maybe just from a bit more further away, yeah.
yeah, like communicating at a distance.
Yeah, communicating from a distance and reading the room before approaching them and stuff, you know.
Or
maybe once
getting
he's gone
some
in
background noise,
and
maybe
seeing that
not
he's-
some noise.
1 minute.
Seeing that
yeah,
he's in a bad mood and stuff like that, and you know,
Yeah.
once he starts swearing at us, maybe we just don't start asking him questions. Maybe we leave and tell him, you know, we'll come back another time.
Yes.
Maybe just read their posture a bit more, you know.
Body language, you
Read their
think?
body language a bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Could I have a say?
Yeah, so what do you feel?
Well,
how
what
do
I
you
feel is
about
maybe getting a bit more knowledge about who he is as a person.
knowledge, yeah. So
So
having
knowing him as a-
background,
yes, having background knowledge on the person because that will give us an indication
yeah.
as to who he is as a person, so then we know whether to go in or whether to just go to someone else.
Yeah,
And
and
give him
then,
some time on his own to reflect, and when he's ready, then we can get called in when we know a bit more about him.
and even suggesting that to him, so giving him some strategy.
Yep.
Okay, Ray, we can come back when you've calmed down and we can talk at a later
Or
date.
asking
That's
him
fine.
as simple as if he'd like us to talk to him, you know?
Yeah.
Because if he'd like some talk, he can say, sure. And then that is when we know he will be responsive.
Because you
He
don't
might
know
want to
what,
respond to our talking, but if he doesn't talk, then we leave him, we come back when he's ready, so then we
Yeah.
then can give him some time to be on his own, to calm down and not have to, be abusive and be violent.
So we're going to go to the learning stage. That was like the evaluation, like what was good about it or what was bad about it. So you evaluate, you go, oh, did I learn something from that? Or is it, oh my gosh, that was a total bad experience. No way I can handle that again.
Yeah.
So the good thing, if you look at it on a good thing, you learn that, well, you don't talk to someone who doesn't want to be talked to,
Yes.
and has got
Exactly.
in that
That's correct. Yeah.
aggressive state,
Yes.
and you're not trained in it,
Yeah.
or even if you are, that let him settle down,
Yeah.
take him to another environment, and offer some cooperation. To, and sense his feelings too, because if you're feeling on edge and he's feeling on edge, it's kind of like, you know, back off a bit. But so we're going to the learning factor now on, we did the evaluation. So how do you feel about the incident now, after like we've talked about it and you've also written your reports?
Yeah.
We've talked about the good and the bad experience. You reflected on the days that you've gone in.
Yep.
So how do you feel about the incident now, like what you have learned?
Do you want to start?
Well, I have learned to just, you know, if someone doesn't want to be talked to, don't talk to them. And get a bit more information about who the person is.
That's right, the same.
Yeah, just pretty much the same thing.
And how do you feel now?
And so I feel a lot better now that I don't have to deal with him. And
So you're just
So
feeling
you're not
better?
really feeling that good about it, mate?
well, because of the way he treated me and the way he is as a person, I feel like I don't want to go back and talk to him and see him because he's making, the way he treated me, like, if someone treats me like a junior, I really don't want to go back and speak to them. No, I don't. You know, they don't deserve my respect after what they treated, how they treated me.
This is the thing. So I understand you're feeling hurt and you're,
I'm
you
feeling
know,
hurt and feeling, I was feeling
frightened.
scared at the time. Yes, that's correct.
Can you reflect on, can you feel empathy, you know, like in your
I-
position,
I would love to feel empathy for him, but I'm not allowed to get true
him being in that situation? Okay, thank you, Eve.
Yes.
I might ask you one more. Have you made sense of this experience in the in the past experience and future practice?
Yes. Of course it made sense of that.
Yeah. To what extent?
To the point where, you know, you just know when to get out when you have to.
Yeah, cool. I like that one.
And not to step a foot in where it's not needed.
That, very good philosophy. Not to step a foot in.
Where not needed, you know.
We're not needed.
Yep.
But you may be needed, but it's not.
Even if I'm needed, if the situation is to the point where I can't step in his room, then I just
exactly.
go,
You
no,
respect, you show.
I'll leave it to the experts who is more higher than me, because then at least they've got more, especially because they would have more knowledge about the client as well.
Yeah,
Whereas me, I'm just fresh coming in.
So you're thinking, when you keep saying leave it to the expert, leave it to the experience, you're actually talking about the rehabilitation centre
Anyone.
itself?
It could be the supervisor, it could be, you know, the rehabilitation officer, it could be, you know,
Yeah, okay.
just people who would know him more than I would.
Yeah. So as a caseworker, you wouldn't just go and say, okay, I'm the caseworker here today, please tell me what you need and
How can I help, you know?
Because he may not be at that stage where he's accepting help.
Yes.
He's at a stage where
He might
he's
want
at
to
the very
recover, he might want
recovery.
to, you know, be on
first.
his own, you know,
Yes.
get left alone. To understand why he's in there and, you know, how he can be helped and who he can talk to as well.
And Carl, what about you? How about you?
I feel pretty good now. Like, you know, it is what it is.
You don't
We
really
tried
want
our best. You know.
So how do you feel about the incident now? You've done your best? You
Yeah, I feel
that-
like we've done our best, and I feel pretty positive. I think that maybe that might be good for him. You know, maybe he might find something positive out of that. Maybe I don't know what he was going through. So, you know, maybe he might get something switched one day and say, oh, you know what? What I've done there was pretty sad, and people were trying to help me, and
okay.
maybe he'll accept help next time, and you know.
Yeah, he may
Who knows?
reflect upon himself.
Yeah. Give him some time to reflect, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
On to our next
Reflect
client,
on
you know.
his behaviour.
Yeah.
We've
And
got
hopefully
We've got a
that he can,
bunch of clients. So
and hopefully he can, you know, learn from it and become a better person.
Yeah.
Right.
Because without him being a better person, he's not going to get the help. He's not going to, you know, be able to see his family, friends. He'll be in
Yes.
there for a while. And as everyone's job, no matter if it's not us helping him, everyone's job is only to help him. You know, and all he needs to do is just accept the help.
So what insights have you gained in that?
We've learnt some insights of, you know, family matters. So,
Oh, okay, yes.
you know, reflection of family matters. So how sensitive they can be, and insights of people that are inside of that centre. You know, you never know if they're still going through the withdrawals or how they're feeling. They could be agitated, and
So yes, part of his rehabilitation would be assessing his withdrawals, like how often, whatever and we don't know, like wasn't aware of if he's on medication as
that's
well.
right,
So,
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
so
Yeah.
that's all the information that we need to, and I guess when you reflect back, that's what you would be looking at. Like was he attacking me personally, or
Yeah,
was
or
it?
was that just his
Was that
medication?
because he was there for the
Who
first
knows?
time? Was it because he needed medication? You know, all that sorts of information we weren't aware of.
There was a
If
lot
we
of
were
plays
more-
at hand.
Yes, so if
Yeah,
we were aware of
lot
that,
of
we
factors.
yes, that comes
Right.
into this. So if we were aware of that, we
Mm.
would have understood, and it would be, hey, how you going? And we would be cooperative, you know.
Yeah.
But without all that knowledge, we
And like you said, if he was at that level of being rehabilitated or in his second,
could have gone a lot different.
you know, in his second
Yes.
stages of rehabilitation or whatever process that he needed to be able to accept further assistance
Yes.
or support
yes,
from
exactly.
other organisations.
Yes. Or maybe it could have been simple as transferring him to a rehabilitation where he feels more comfortable. You know, so then he can then feel at ease. He won't have to feel
Yeah.
like he has to punch on with everyone.
Yes.
You
I
know.
think really sounds like that it was mainly the sad news he heard.
Yeah,
that
there
was
was a few
his
triggers
way.
going on.
Triggers, yeah,
Yes.
definitely. You know, which is a traumatic event when in a family relationship and
Of
then
course.
having to separate and all that. So
Yep.
yeah, he has a lot of healing to do. So what changes can be implemented based from what had occurred? So can you see any changes, say if we were
Like
to
we said
send
before,
another
it's just, you know,
caseworker?
Don't approach him if he feels angry. Just feel his mood out. Feel their mood out a bit more. And
The body
That would be
language,
the only thing,
understanding
yeah.
his body language, like, you know, seeing the way he looks, you know, just his body language in general.
He's non-verbal,
yeah.
like if he's not
If
talking.
he's not talking, that just means
Yeah,
he
rather than
is-
us going, oh, we need to get this
Yeah.
assessment done though, or
Going
we need
in
to do
there
this initial
for you.
assessment.
Yes.
We need to think,
Right.
oh, you know what? There's no point doing this initial assessment if he's upset. He's going to give us the wrong
If
impression.
he's not cooperating.
Yeah, so that's that answer.
So how will you know if the changes have been effective? So say for instance you both don't want to go back
Yeah,
there.
in this
Yeah.
case we won't know, I guess.
So in this case we won't know.
No.
Yeah.
So
If he would be
Um,
more than happy, yeah, I don't know.
maybe at a later stage once
Yeah, maybe
he's
at a later
got
stage
the
and see what
help
happens.
with the
Yeah, who knows?
rehabilitation
Yeah.
and so for within the there's different types of practices that you know for you both the strategies is one could be you know, because that wasn't a very nice time. It's got to a stage where instead of you saying, okay, we may go back, you both have said, no, we're not going to go back. We don't want to.
Yeah.
So a few strategies and suggestions would be to, if you'd like to write a daily diary reflecting on the day
Yeah.
Yep.
and the experience of feelings and competency, like, oh yes, give yourself a tick.
Yeah.
I did that today and I felt good about it. Boom, cross. Wasn't feeling too good because whatever reason.
Yeah.
So you get it out on paper, and then we can come together once a week again for debrief
Yeah,
sessions.
that sounds good.
Yeah. Cool.
So we can explain to you how we're going, how we're feeling.
How you
So
feeling?
then, you know, we can then, you know, be able to work on ourselves. So we
Yeah,
can
reflect
then,
and
yeah, so then we
evaluate
can
the
then
situation.
eventually be able to, if we're feeling good about ourselves, we then might be able to go and help all these other clients.
That's it.
So
Rather
then
than
you as a
shutting
person can say,
down.
oh sure, well then if you're feeling good about yourself and you told me this,
Yeah.
you can then go work with this client,
Work
you know, work
on-
with that client, you know, work with that client. Without feeling 100%,
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to put us through to a client because you're not at our best.
So that's another support practice.
Yep.
Advice and direction is strength-based approach, working on your interests,
Yep.
you know, and your capabilities. What are you capable of? Are you capable of facing an aggressive person?
Yep.
And if you are, how is that affecting your personal
Yep.
life and your professional life?
Yep.
So we can work on the support practice
Yep.
with the direction of, you know, collaborating with your peers, like what you did today.
Yep.
The pair share and saying, oh, this worked for me. If I, as soon as I lowered my voice and
Yep.
didn't want to talk, we didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Yes, maybe it could be the way
Yes,
you're
yes,
Sure,
talking.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, it's really good. So, and must always still follow the policies of operational hope, our policies and procedures, the legislative provisions like confidentiality, privacy. You know, I know we spoke about phone today, and you both are on this case, but that information obtained, you know, or divulged in communication is private.
Yeah.
So
And
keep that,
confidentiality.
we keep that protected. And any mandatory reporting, like say for instance, that, you know, statutory declarations, writing out, well, he punched me, it could be up for assault charge. Next time it mightn't go so lightly, it could.
Or he could end up being transferred to the mental ward at the hospital if he needed be, you know, if
Yeah.
you continue to react the way you reacted.
So all this sort of stuff you need to document and your reporting in mandatory and statutory declarations.
Yeah.
It's important to have that signed by a witness, or like in your two cases were
Yeah.
both there at the time. And the ethical is being sensitive to the differences between their own. Like, be sensitive and consider the welfare of the clients, the community, and the co-employers through application of your values, attitudes, skills, knowledge, and respect, protects, and values people. Now, it's really important, even though he came across, you know, in a way that you are finding it, it's like it's transferable. All his, you know, negativities are just gone unloaded onto you. It's really important that you respect the differences and own your own values, which in this case has come across, and practice your duty of care towards clients, co-workers and
Yeah.
community. And I know you both have been doing a great job, and I really thank you very much
Yeah.
for
You're very welcome. Yeah, we tried our best.
yeah.
And it's a shame that it
Thanks for
didn't come
having
out to be the experience you wanted it to be, especially for us, because we thought we were going to come in with a positive note and tell them how great it was, but sadly that it ended up being where we didn't even want to go back.
Yeah, so the other thing is we do have referrals for workplace, including, you know, like, say if you need further counselling or you want to talk to someone else because you just need to get it off your
Yeah.
chest and say,
Yeah.
you know, I really, this debrief today went okay, but I'm still, you know, in my mind and my heart, really disturbed by this.
Yeah.
So we have this employee assistance program that you can go to.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the numbers for that
Yes,
to
thank you,
ring,
yeah.
and just practice your healthy routines, sleeping, eating,
Yeah.
the everyday things that what you normally do.
Personal hygiene.
Yes, that's right. Self-care.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do.
Yes, that's what
Alrighty.
you can do.
Okay. So, was there any other questions that you'd like?
No.
So,
I think that's pretty much wraps it up.
what I'll do is I'll send off a email to my supervisor, Leah Fisher, and just to notify her of our talk today.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That I, maybe suggesting further follow-ups.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll hold another debrief session next week.
Yeah.
Just
That's
touch
fine.
on it,
Yeah.
see how you're going.
Yes, that's no worries. Yeah, we can work on next week. Yeah. Just send us an email of time and date, and we'll be able to attend to that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Eve. Thank you for your
Enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. And that's it. That's what we've got to do. Keep our enthusiasm. We may have gone down this very, rocky road, but there's always a positive
Yes.
and negative that comes out
That's
of it.
right.
And it's
But
how
no matter how
you.
negative it is, we keep positive attitude and we keep forward and we keep looking into coming into work every day, and we don't let it stop us, because our job is to help these people, and all we're going to do is helping these people as
Yeah.
best we possibly can, no matter if it's a bad, if it comes with a bad experience. As long as we're learning from it, and we can always, continue to do what we do as a job.
I know it's a bit short, but there was debriefing session record, so it can be used, the ground rules, and it can be used in the next debrief session of speak when reciprocated to, or with no interruptions from others. So when one's talking, try not to interrupt, because it's really important this person gets out what
Yes.
they're feeling.
Yes, that's
And
good.
how, and encourage exploration of feelings and emotions to be expressed freely without judgment
Yep.
or humiliation. And the information shared is to be confidential and protected for privacy. So in our next debriefing, these are the ground rules. If the employee feels uncomfortable and needs a break, they will be allowed space and time to normalise and reflect better on the issues and the incident.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel you want to talk about it at the time, or there's more you feel you haven't covered from this session, you want to talk about it next week. If anything's upsetting, take a break.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay?
Awesome.
To recover.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, team, and
worries.
look forward
Yeah,
to
thank
seeing
you.
you
Thanks
back
for
on the
having us.
workforce again.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Operation Hope.
Operation Hope on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Operation Hope.
Jessica!
What's that, half hour? Can you
That was
check?
like 2
That
hours,
was 5
man.
hours, mate.
That was at least an hour and a half.
No way.
Dead set.
Holy shit, 49 minutes.
Was it? That's too long.